All right, welcome to Office Hours. Today we're going to talk about our product SmartConnect and the upcoming release of an upgrade path between SmartConnect 2018 to SmartConnect 21. So this is a major release. This is our biggest release since 2010 when we moved outside of GP. So with this upgrade, the structure of SmartConnect is going to change from what we had between 2013 and 2018 to what we're going to have moving forward, which is a code merged of our online version of smartconnect.com and the on-premise version of SmartConnect. So with this, the important thing to note is if you have an existing version of SmartConnect, you're going to need to upgrade to the most recent version of SmartConnect 2018, which is 2018.149. And then you will also need to log on to the eOne website and generate a new customer ID, and then it will also ask you to create your first user. This is different than the existing ID that you've used historically to do your authentication and getting your license key. So that reg key process is going to be different than you're used to. So if you go onto our website, say you want keys for SmartConnect 21, our sales team can help you with that if you are having any struggles. So one thing to note is starting with SmartConnect 21, all of your users are going to need an email and a password in order to log in and no longer use this Active Directory. So as part of this upgrading process, you'll be required to assign an email address and a password for every user. So keep that in mind when you go through this process. So be prepared that all of those customers need to be basically remapped during the upgrade process. So what I'm going to do is quickly go over the upgrade process with you. So if you go, it's not there yet, but next week you'll be able to go on our website and download the new installer for SmartConnect 21. The version number is going to be something like this, 21, and then it's going to be like 200 and something. So right now it's 237 is the most recent version, but there may be a couple more releases while we get bugs hammered out here. So I currently have my SmartConnect on 2018-149. I've uninstalled the SmartConnect application, and now I'm going to tell it to run the 21 version. Okay. Default install location, I will leave and click next. Then in here, it's asking me what I want to include. SmartConnect client, obviously, the Windows service and the API service, which is that WCF service from SmartConnect 2018. And then there's another option to include an upgrade path for SmartConnect 2018. So this won't actually run the upgrade at this point. It just installs an executable that you can run at a later time to do that. So what I'm going to do is tell the integration or tell the installer to run. Give it just a couple minutes and then I will have a new folder for SmartConnect. So these files are going to go into the program files, eOne solutions. Finishing up here. And finished. Okay, so now if I go in the SmartConnect folder, you can see that I have all of my SmartConnect files in here. So the first thing that you need to do after install is to run the config application. So if I run this, and it's going to ask me for my customer ID. Like I said, this will be different than your reg key has been. Okay, in here, it sees that I have previously connected to an instance, so I can use that one. Otherwise, if you don't have one, you'll be able to create a new one. Yes. So we are actually going to be using a second database location. So we can't install over your existing SmartConnect 2018. You're gonna have to create a new database that will hold 21 while keeping the other one so you kind of have that historical backfall. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell it what my server is and make those connection details. It's gonna validate that it can connect to my server. It says it was successful. Then I will create a new database. So I'm going to name my new database SmartConnect 21. I'll use the SmartConnect user, which already exists. If not, it will create one. Okay. And then once you click out of that, it will ask if you want to use an existing user set up on your account. I'm just going to use user one here. Otherwise, you could have it create a new one where you enter in the user's name and email address. So now this has worked. I now have that instance set up and configured. At this point, if you wanted to, you could create the Windows service and API service and configure those, but I just want to run through the upgrade process. So if I close that and look in here, there's a SmartConnect upgrade executable. I'll run that. What is your original database? This is the existing one of 2018 that I want to upgrade to the most recent version of SmartConnect 21. So I'm going to say that I know the database is named SmartConnect and enter the SQL user and test the connection. If you're trying to connect to a database that's not on the most recent version, you get an error like this telling you what your current version is and what version it needs to be. So what I'm going to do is tell it to connect to my one that's actually upgraded. And it says, great, you can do that. And then I'm going to click upgrade. So the first thing, like I said, it needs to remap all of your users. So if you did not want to do one, so let's say I don't want to bring this eConnect user over for some reason, it will ask what you want to do with the maps that they are currently the owner of, and I'll say just assign them to that other user. Then I have that other user is in here, their email address, password, first name, last name. I can enter a temporary password. So any users that did not have a password, they're not set up in the eOne account system yet, they will be assigned a new password. Anyone that's already set up would just keep their current one. So if I click OK, it is now going to run the full process. So this is going to be going through and remapping everything. So it's not just changing your users and your maps, but it's changing the overall structure of the database. So probably the most obvious change is that the data sources are now going to be split from your maps. So every map is going to have its own data source initially, but you'll be able to in the future reuse those data sources as needed. Once this integration completes, should only take a couple minutes, it will give me a log showing any errors or any messages or things to be aware of that occurred out of it. So depending on the types of maps you have, you may get specific node errors about those. So something to note is we no longer have a couple of options available. So if you are using a CRM bulk destination or a Salesforce bulk destination, those are no longer options in the new database. So you will get an error saying you can't use this this map, and so that map will just not be upgraded. It'll just not exist in the new database. It'll still be in your old 2018 one if you need to go back to that, but it won't be available in the current one. So we can see that the integration process has made it to the point where it's upgrading my maps. So those are going to take a while. It's a fairly large database, so I believe there's probably about 100 maps in there, so it might take it a little bit of time to get through them all. So while we're waiting, some reasons that you may need to do this upgrade process is if you're connecting to something like one of the cloud applications, Salesforce, Business Central, Dynamics CRM, if you want to get the new features that we add for those connectors over the coming months, we have some things planned for those. We will only be adding those to SmartConnect 21. So to get access to those new features, get the new authentication protocols, all of that, you're going to need to do the upgrade process. In the future, we'll be adding new connectors specifically to this one. So I know next month we have plans to add our newly rebuilt REST connector to SmartConnect 21. That won't be available on SmartConnect 2018. So if you need to connect to a REST data source or destination, I definitely encourage you to run the upgrade process. So if for some reason your upgrade fails, or you find enough maps didn't go across that you want to go back to 2018 and fix those, all you have to do is uninstall your SmartConnect 2018 or 2021, then install SmartConnect 2018 again, point it to your existing 2018 database, and you can log in, make your changes, and then go through this upgrade process a second time. Point it and move it all to that new database. All right, so here I have the option to either view the log or save the log. If we look, this is what it's telling me. There were 3 maps that didn't go across. And then there are some that just gave me notification warnings. One of the things is Salesforce query data sources now are going to append the Salesforce object name to the beginning of the column name. So if you've referenced those in script, you might need to change that. And then it's also telling me that the bulk options are not available anymore. So those Salesforce and CRM bulk ones aren't going to work. And I'll say that's fine. I don't really care. So now if we go, actually I should find, we're going to run SmartConnect 21 here real quick so I can show you what we did. So under program files, eOne Solutions, SmartConnect, and then run just the UI. So what is your user? Actually, I can't. Now I'm not remembering who I set up as it. Solutions.com, and then well, if I'd remembered who I set up, which I don't, you'd be able to log in now and view your SmartConnect database. So I don't see any questions right now about the upgrade process. All of this is going to be posted next week. You'll have the application for the install along with a written out overview of all of the instructions and the method that we went through today. So you'll be able to do all of this yourself. Something that I want to make you aware of is we do have 2021 training available. Right now we're not doing any in-person trainings, but we do have monthly trainings on a variety of topics for you to learn about SmartConnect and PopDoc. If you have any suggestions for us to go over in an office hours in the future, feel free to reach out to us at officehours@eonesolutions.com. And when it's not time for office hours, you can always reach us on our website, going to our support center. You can enter help tickets there, view all of our help articles, the user manuals, and also download the installer and install instructions. And here's how to get in contact with us if you're not able to find what you need on our website. So once again, thank you everyone for joining me, and we will see you all again next month for another round of office hours.